Watch and burn.
Hey everyone, so tonight I want to discuss Brad Anderson's 2001 horror film, Session 9. I shouldn't have said horror film, that sounded really dumb. But nonetheless, I want to discuss Brad Anderson's 2001 film, Session 9. Now first off, this is a complete departure for Anderson. Up until this point, he'd played it a little safer, making movies more along the lines of like rom-coms and whatnot. So this was a complete and total departure for Anderson. And I have to say that he really nailed it with this. Like, this is sort of like the perfect blend of like mystery, thriller, and horror, because you never really know what's going on, if anything at all. For most of this movie, you're not entirely sure if there's anything bad happening, or if it's, maybe this movie's just going to all be atmosphere. Maybe this movie is going to be more about a relationship ending, you know, not in a murderous way necessarily, or maybe this is going to be a family falling apart. The lead character, Gordon, he is particularly stressed because his company, his asbestos removal company, is going to go under if they don't get this job cleaning out Danvers, the abandoned mental asylum from a number of years back that has sat vacant for all these years, and the city can't tear it down because Danvers has been classified as having historical significance, so they can't destroy it, and so they have to send somebody in to clean it up, which inevitably, I believe, actually happened in reality, because this building is ancient, and I'm sure this place was just dripping with asbestos. So that aspect of the plot, I'm sure, was accurate enough. But throughout the course of this entire film, I wasn't really sure if anything horrific was going to happen. Watching the story unfold as far as the sessions are being rolled off, one of the characters in this film, I can't remember his name all of a sudden. I've seen this movie like 1,000 times, and now that I've got a camera in front of me, I can't remember anyone's name. The only character's name I remember is Gordon. Well, anyways, I'm sure the text will come up and show his name, and I apologize for forgetting it. Wait, no, I don't apologize for forgetting it. I don't care. He's down in the basement shrugging off his work duties so that he can sort of go through this evidence box that he came across, which has a series of audio reels in it, labeled Session 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on and so forth, right up until, of course, Session 9. And what he's finding out from this old box of evidence and these old audio reels, there's a lady named Mary who slaughtered her family back a number of decades prior, and she had no recollection of this, and she was currently living with 3 personalities inside of her. There's Princess. Princess lives in the mouth or the tongue because she's always talking. Billy lives in the eyes because he sees everything. And then there's Simon. And for the majority of this film, well, pretty much 100% of this film, right up until the closing credits, we don't know where Simon lives. And so that kept pulling me in, and still, though, nothing really all that horrific was happening. And then Hank, the character that I absolutely loved, he is down spraying various pipes with red slime or green slime, indicating which ones are dangerous, which ones aren't, when he comes across a hole in the wall where he digs his hand in and he starts to find clumps of old coins, gold teeth, and shit like that. So he decides to come back in the middle of the night to loot the place, and while he's there, he sees a shadowy figure off in the distance in Danvers with him, which would be completely unnerving. And then you see him attempting to leave, and then all of a sudden there's a very quick like, and then it just cuts to the following day, and Hank doesn't show up for work. David Caruso's character was dating Hank's girlfriend first. In fact, Hank was the one that stole her from him, so he calls her up, and she says that Hank found his meal ticket, and he was taking off to, I believe, Tampa, I think it was, to casino school. Except, of course, you know something's not quite right with that. But then, nonetheless, considering how this movie had been sort of trucking along so far, I wasn't really sure if anything had happened to Hank. This movie was a little on the quiet side. And it isn't until pretty much the very end that you realize that Gordon has snapped. He killed his family, including his new infant daughter, his wife, and the dog. He stomps the fucking dog to death, too. And throughout the course of the film, he's been attempting to contact his wife and call her, and it appears that they had some sort of fight or something, and it's later revealed, he tells David Caruso's character that he slapped her. And so he's trying to call her, and of course, like I said, at the end of the film, it's revealed that he slaughtered his family. So throughout the course of this entire film, when he was on the phone with his wife, he was on the phone with nobody. That was a nice punch. I liked that. I didn't see that coming either. He kills his entire team, of course, and this is at Simon's behest. And at the very, very end of the film, we're finally made aware of where Simon lives through an audio recording of a doctor asking him. He says, "Simon, where do you live?" And he says, "In the weak and the wounded." And so that's how this movie very quickly becomes a traditional horror film, in the sense that there is a lot of blood and violence, but it was just done so smart, and it was shot so incredibly well. And the Danvers being able to shoot in the actual abandoned mental facility is a really gorgeous and yet really harrowing place to film a movie, and it adds so much atmosphere that I was just completely drawn in by this. It was like, I've seen this movie, like I've said, countless times over the past 20 years. I bought this one on a fluke too from Rogers Video up at Town Line. Rogers Video is gone now because nobody rents movies anymore. They either just steal them or they watch them on Netflix. I got it up there. I liked the cover, and it was only like $10, so I figured, fuck it, right? And I absolutely fell in love with it, and that's because there's a lot to love here. There's the sound design alone should have got this movie a lot more recognition than it did. I know as of this point, I believe, is it still July or is it August now? 2022, late July, early August 2022, this movie has attained cult status, which is nice, because this movie deserves to be seen and then seen again, because there's so much going on here. I suppose the only misstep that I could really find in this movie, for me at least, was the sort of carnival music that is played when it's revealed that Hank bumped into Gordon at Danvers the night that he disappeared, and how Gordon has been sort of wandering the halls of Danvers in some sort of homicidal trance that he's been put in by Simon. I didn't love that. I thought that was a little awkward. Now, the other thing that's interesting about this, though, is Simon real? Like, is Simon an actual, like an evil spirit, so to speak? Or is Simon just another aspect of mental illness that we're led to believe inevitably finds everybody who's weak and wounded? Because he found that Mary woman a number of decades before who died in Danvers. And then while Gordon was working in Danvers, cleaning out all of the rot, Simon introduced himself to him too. So it's never really made explicitly clear if whether or not Simon is an actual, like, demon, or if Simon is just mental illness. And personally, I've always thought of Simon as sort of being some sort of resting evil that exists in places like Danvers. Simon is sort of everywhere, and when somebody who is weak or wounded shows up, he possesses them, so to speak, making him more of a traditional evil. I never really saw Simon as being a manifestation of mental illness. I always saw Simon as being like in league with Straighten. Not Satan, fucking Straighten, because suddenly I can't talk. But I have always thought of Simon as being sort of in league with Satan, like he is a demon or something. Yeah, okay, so look, I'm gonna stop. I've been rambling now for almost 10 minutes about Session 9. I absolutely love this movie. The only thing I didn't like was the carnival music used at the scene that I discussed when Hank discovers it's Gordon that he saw that night when he was looting Danvers. Other than that, I thought this movie was absolutely perfect. I love how the American flag is broken on the glass. The sticker of the American flag is broken on the glass in the background of that one room that they find themselves in from time to time. I like how that signifies sort of Gordon's broken American dream because his company was about to go belly up. I thought that was a nice touch too. But yeah, like I was saying, I'm going. So thank you so much for hanging out with me for close to 10 minutes while I discuss Brad Anderson's 2001 film, Session 9. If you liked this review or discussion or whatever this was, don't forget to do something nice for somebody. Sorry I went on so long. Have a good night. I just wanted to say thank you for making it through the entire video. I really appreciate it. And I'm going to remind everyone one more time, even though I've probably already done this in the video that you just watched, to please click the like button as well as the subscribe button because it helps this channel grow. And thank you for hitting like and subscribe, and we will see you guys really soon.